Welcome to Rosemont, Illinois, in the Parkway Bank Sports Complex, the home of Athletes Unlimited Pro Softball. Fans, ready for a softball Saturday doubleheader? And it is Island Music Night. And on the field, 60 of the top softball players in the world. Game one of our doubleheader pits the purple squad of team captain Skylar Wallace against the orange squad of team captain Taylor McQuillan. A check of the leaderboard on this first Saturday in August shows 3 players from Taylor McQuillan's orange squad, with Taylor herself at number 4, Harshman at 6, and Denham at 7. Nobody from Team Wallace in the top 10, though Skylar herself is actually at number 11. And we are happy you can spend part of your Saturday with us, along with Olympic gold medalist Natasha Watley. I am Mark Deely. Savannah Collins down on the field will join us momentarily. So, Natasha, both these teams yesterday took a loss. What's the quick fix for each one?
The quick fix is offense. And obviously, if you want to move at that leaderboard, you know that you got to rack up those win points. And so it's going to be important for both teams to manufacture runs. Offense 101, put runners on, put them in scoring position, and execute. And so yesterday, 6 runners left on base for both teams. The only run coming across from Team McQuillan's Mackenzie Clark with a solo home run.
Yeah, both teams missed some opportunities to put up some runs in yesterday's games. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Team Purple of Team Skylar Wallace, and that features the captain herself, Skylar Wallace, batting in the 2-hole. From the leaderboard drop from 4 to 11 after yesterday's action. Got Aaron Koffel in the cleanup spot. Filler the DP with Ulchin Jacobson and Sydney McKinney batting in the 9-hole, playing second base. And they face in the circle Alyssa Denham.
Alyssa Denham has been doing tremendous in the circle and leading in the circle and doing what she does best and inducing a lot of ground balls. And I just love the tag team between her and McQuillan. When she was a team captain, one of her picks was Taylor McQuillan, and now on the other side, Taylor McQuillan picking her.
Denham pitched 3 innings in relief in the loss yesterday. She didn't take the loss herself, as the first pitch is swung on and hit right to the second baseman. And 1 pitch, 1 out as Kelsey Harshman over to Taylor, and that's a quick out for Alyssa Denham. When they got beat yesterday, Team Orange, it was the first time Denham had been on the losing team, because in quite a while she had been on 12 straight team winners.
Yeah, and I mean, just right out the gate, you know, I talked about her inducing a lot of ground balls. Morgan Zirkle hit swinging first pitch and inducing a ground ball there, and that's what she's been able to do so well, is depend on her defense.
Here is Skylar Wallace. 4 hits so far for her in 13 at-bats in this Athletes Unlimited Championship season, which is now into week 2 of 5 weeks. Strike on the inside corner. And yes, you will hear the planes going over from nearby O'Hare.
A little bit louder than I thought. Yeah. I anticipated it and knew about it, but
yeah, we're right in the flight path for landing and takeoffs. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Skylar. A 1-for-3 game for her yesterday. Slow tap. Picked up by the bare hand of Denham, and she has no play. Wallace able to beat that out with a throw. Alyssa Denham tells us what to look for from her today.
Hi, I'm pitcher Alyssa Denham. My favorite pitch is a drop ball because I like to utilize my defense.
Yeah, sometimes the ball's hit so softly you turn into your own defense but still can't make a play on the
I mean, she's inducing ground balls there, but Skylar Wallace, I mean, just does such a great job of being able to put bat on ball. But you know, what Denham, she does so great. She's not throwing high velo. She doesn't hit high upper 60s. She keeps the ball in the lower 60s and just really relies on movement and her spin and her break.
So you saw Alyssa Denham going back into the dugout, and you see that she wears the protective face mask, and I think maybe she needed an adjustment to it or a different one. Whatever it was, it was a pretty quick fix, something she was able to take care of quickly, but wanted to take care of here early in the game.
Yeah, I don't know if it was something to her mask and she just needed to make a quick adjustment. That was pretty quick.
Plate umpire Scott Mayers said, yeah, go ahead, do what you got to do. She has done that. So we resume 1 on 1 out. Just underway. Top of the first here in the Village of Rosemont. And Kelsey Stewart-Hunter is the former Florida Gator. Won a couple of national titles with Tim Walton's squad. Was on the back-to-back national champions in 2014 and 15.
Yeah, there's been a lot of different connections of different generations from different colleges, and I love this Kelsey Stewart-Hunter and Skylar Wallace back-to-back, both Florida Gators.
Two balls and a strike. Kelsey Stewart-Hunter yesterday 1 for 3. Looks at the strike there, 2-2. Slow tap towards Warren at third. Jesse makes the good throw and gets Kelsey Stewart-Hunter. Take a look at the arsenal of Alyssa Denham.
And you'll see her fast ball, her drop ball, her curve ball mainly relies on her drop and her curve. Lower 60s, 59, 63. Again, keeping that ball down in the zone, using the ground, using her defense.
You see Wallace out at second now with 2 outs. We talked right at the top just a few minutes ago, Natasha, about how both these teams lost yesterday. An early run for either one would seem to be really big, and that ball's hit in the air towards left. Mackenzie Clark waiting on it, and Team Wallace will strand Skylar Wallace on base. They get a hit, leave a runner. Team Orange coming up next. A little warmer temperatures today here on this Saturday than yesterday for day 1 of week 2 of the AU Pro Softball Championship season. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Team Orange. Team McQuillan. You got McClinney up top, followed by Leach and Harshman. Mackenzie Clark batting in the 9 spot. Accounted for their lone run yesterday with a long one.
Yeah, I mean, she has proven to be quite the rock star. I mean, we got a taste of her at AUX in Wichita, and yesterday supplying the solo run for Team McQuillan yesterday.
And Georgina Korick, the Florida native, in the circle for Team Purple, Team Wallace.
And Georgina Korick, just an incredible pitcher in the circle. What she's able to do with just being able to mix speeds and keep hitters off balance. She does an incredible job of keeping the ball down as well, but you'll see her use her changeup quite a bit.
There really isn't a pitch that she doesn't throw. She's got quite a variety. As you see, what's at stake? A run here for Team McQuillan. They would take the inning and the 10 points, the 10 team points. Otherwise, we'll roll over to inning number 2. Haley 4 for 14 so far this season. Haley was number 19 on the leaderboard after week 1. Lays that down, and Korick can't field it cleanly. Kind of a little half swing. Wasn't really a bunt, wasn't really a swing, and Korick could not field it cleanly. And McClinney is on. We tell you that Korick has quite a wide arsenal. She tells you what all that is.
Hi, my name is Georgina Korick, and my favorite pitch to throw is my changeup because it makes all my other pitches look way faster than they are.
Which is what a changeup's really supposed to be all about. That ball is bunted by Leach, throws safe at first with McKinney covering. And after McClinney reached on an error, Leach just trying to bunt her over, winds up with an infield bunt base hit.
Yeah, and the speedster's just doing exactly what they're supposed to do. And Aubrey Leach looking for something that's middle in to be able to sacrifice and get McClenny over. But McClenny also doing a great job, too, because she's reading that off speed and just trying to use the ground and trying to get some runners on base.
So the first two hitters, McClenny and Leach, have hit the ball maybe a combined 15 feet, and they have 2 on, nobody out.
That's exactly what you want to do, especially for someone like Haley McClenny and Aubrey Leach who have a lot of speed. You know, McCork, she throws a lot of off speed, and so being able to move through the box, being able to utilize that ground is going to be key for them.
Slow roller. Wallace's only play is at first. She gets Harshman. Let's take a little deeper dive into all those different pitches you can see from Georgina Corrick.
And like I mentioned, Corrick has a plethora of pitches. She has a lot. She has that change that she'll throw in 57 miles per hour, but everything else is kind of low to mid 60s. Her curve, her drop, her rise, and her screw. But she's going to go to that changeup often. She's going to try to keep these hitters off balance as much as possible and keep them guessing.
Jessie Warren being aggressive, fouled the first pitch, I believe, off her foot.
If you just take a look, it looks like she hits this right off of her foot, and that is never fun. And Corrick just trying to work with location on here and throwing her in and running this ball in and trying to make Jessie Warren speed up her hands a little bit, but that never feels good when you can hit it into your foot.
Jessie Warren has been with Athletes Unlimited softball from the beginning. She played 14 years of baseball really before starting to play softball. She says she's ambidextrous, does most things left and right-handed. Obviously batting right-handed. Always known as one of the better defenders wherever she has been. She's won several defensive MVPs in AUX and won as the Defensive Player of the Year last year in this championship season. She's got a chance to give him an early lead and corks that one foul. Well, you mentioned right at the top, both these teams had 6 runners left on base in their loss yesterday. Team Wallace strands, ironically, Skylar Wallace in the top of the first inning, and here's Team McQuillan with a chance.
Right, and that timely hitting with runners in scoring position, this is a key moment right here for Jessie Warren. Obviously, if I'm her, I'm looking for something that I can get to the green, that I can go right side. But you can see Corrick is trying to go against that, throwing her in, and trying to get her to hit into her defense.
Warren's pulled a couple hard but foul. This one away. Runner coming for the plate. Here's the play. Safe. McClenny gets in under the tag of Palacios. And Team McQuillan brings in a run, an RBI for Jessie Warren, her 4th.
And that's all that Jessie Warren needed on that 2-2 pitch. She finally got something out on the outer half, and something that was able to get Haley McClenny to have that sweet slide at home.
Yeah, it was an interesting angle, and of course there are you have a couple of video reviews at your disposal. Looking like Team Wallace is going to use one here. Again, the call on the field is safe. And as you
review, the call on the field is upheld.
There you go. Quickly turned around, call upheld. That's the 7th captain's challenge so far this season. Only 1 has been successful so far. And that one was close. That replay we had was a really nice slide by McClenny getting the hand in. A great tag attempt by Palacios too, though.
Great tag attempt and just great all around. I mean, what was also great was McClenny's jump on that. She hesitated. She did not hesitate at all. As soon as she saw that ball right side, she took off.
Well, speaking of taking off, Warren just did. And uncontested, takes second base. Picks herself up a stolen base. And quick 10 points there. Because she picked up an RBI, but you don't get any points for RBIs. She reached on a fielder's choice, so she gets 10 points there and kind of makes up for not getting the 10 points for a hit. Charlize Palacios, who we have mic'd up today. We'll hear from her a little bit later on. So she's at the plate hitting with her sister, her older sister, Sachelle Palacios, catching for Team Wallace.
Yeah, that is like what I am keyed in right now. If I'm if I'm Charlize, I'm thinking that my sister's in my head and knows exactly what to throw me. And gets ahead quickly, 0-2. Almost got her chasing on her eyes, but goes back to that off speed because she knows she's looking for something hard and gets her on that changeup.
All right, when we do get her on mic, that's going to have to be part of the conversation.
Definitely talk about that.
When your sister, who's 5 years older than you, knows everything about you and is calling pitches. Yeah, that'll be a fun little conversation we'll have later. Erica Piancastelli. Popped up. Corrick wants this one and makes the catch. And Team McQuillan settles for one and lead 1-0 and take the inning points. Athletes Unlimited Pro Softball is sponsored by the U.S. Air Force. Some of the photos from yesterday, day one. The birthday hat for the celebration after the home run. Megan Faramo got tagged with another loss. It's been a very unusual start for her in this championship season. We head to inning number 2. Team McQuillan did pick up an unearned run, but a run nonetheless, and they take the 10 team points, taking the first inning as Alyssa Denham back to work here in the top of the second. Here's Sachelle Palacios leading off for Team Wallace. You know, it's one of the few times we've seen a team take the first inning. We had a lot of roller over innings early in this championship season.
Yeah, and I think that that's going to be the difference, the key. The teams that can push those runs across, win those innings, I think that those are what I would be pushing for and trying to get those points on our side.
Alyssa Denham, Alvin, Texas. First played at Arizona. The city of Alvin, Texas is not very big, but it is known in the stick and ball circuit as the hometown of Nolan Ryan.
Very cool. I wonder if she's ever met him.
It's a question we need to add to the list. We get a chance to visit with Alyssa. Full count on Sachelle Palacios. Alyssa Denham finished in second place last year in the championship season. Became the first player in Athletes Unlimited softball history to medal in back-to-back years. She was also second place in the championship season 2 years ago. Finished second to Odyssey Alexander last year. That is a strikeout of Palacios. Hey, we haven't checked in with Savannah College yet. Good afternoon, Savannah, down on the field.
Hey, you two. In previous seasons of AU Pro Softball, we've seen some duos. They're mostly batteries. The one to keep an eye on this season is 2 pitchers, Taylor McQuillan and Alyssa Denham. In week 1, Taylor was Alyssa's #1 pick of the draft, and then this week she returned the favor. They feel like this is our time, and they're committed to work together as much as they can and to climb that leaderboard and then stay there at the top. They just got to make sure that both of them don't become captains. But talking to Taylor, she said it's really rare to find someone who is that supportive of you, not only in this leaderboard and this AU point system, but on field, off too. They rely on each other so much, and their success plays off of one another too as they continue together in this week, and they're hoping they'll stick together the same way in week 3.
Yeah, Savannah, I guess we could say they're thick as Wildcats, as Arizona Wildcats.
No, I love it, Savannah. I mean, great insights. And I mean, I think that that's the way that you win this thing. I mean, if you can tag team with the teammate, I guess, so to speak, or a bud, I mean, what's great for them, they complement each other. Taylor McQuillan's the only lefty here. Denham keeps the ball down. I think just if they can tag team and take this thing together, I like their game plan.
Filler swings and misses. One thing you just said, I want to repeat, Natasha, the people may not have absorbed. There's only one left-handed pitcher out of all the teams and all the players here, and it's McQuillan.
Yeah, and you know, anything about lefty pitchers, they're gold. And so if you can draft her and tag team with her, I think it's brilliant.
Denham issues a walk to Andrea Filler. So Team Wallace has a one-out base runner, just like they had in the first inning. So a walk for Filler is as good as a hit points-wise. They're both worth 10 points. Brings up the center fielder, Jadalyn Alchin. Slow roller hit by Alchin, waiting on it. Harshman able to gather and get the out. It does allow Filler to advance down to second base. So a ground out for Alchin puts Filler in scoring position. .28 pitches so far for Alyssa Denham. What's the early returns on her? Just what, 7 hitters through the order, now make it 8. That ball's dumped into left center. Jacobson has a base hit. It will score. Filler was able to take off on contact with 2 outs, and Team Wallace has tied the game. Well, it wasn't all that hard at contact, Natasha, but put it in the right spot.
Yeah, when we talk about timely hitting, this is exactly what timely hitting is all about. Yes, not the ideal spot, and Caroline Jacobson just does a great job of getting that bat barrel out in front. That's an inside pitch. It kind of jams her a little bit, but you've got to find a way to get that to the green to pick up that run. Team Wallace ties the game.
So that one-out walk issued by Denham, her first and to this point only of the game, has come back to haunt her as that runner Filler has scored to tie the game. Sydney McKinney shoots it foul. So Team McQuillan just took the team points, winning the first inning with a run. Now Team Wallace trying to answer right back and have done so with a run so far. Lisa Denham misses again, and that's a 3-1 count. McKinney so far 2 for 9 on the championship season. McKinney inside outs it to Aubrey Leach, who made a good diving stop just to keep it on the infield, but no chance to throw out McKinney, who has an infield hit. 10 points for the base hit for McKinney. That's back-to-back hits for Team Wallace.
And Aubrey Leach, once she leaves her feet, she knows that she doesn't have a play on this. Good speed with Jacobson and good speed with McKinney at first, going from home to first.
Turns the lineup over right back to the top to Morgan Zirkle, who swung at the first pitch of the game and grounded out to second base. He's 0 for 1. Gwen Savekis wants to have a word with Denham. You see Zirkle right now, number 20 on the leaderboard. After the visit by Savekis, strike right down central. Odyssey Alexander is up in the bullpen for Team McQuillan. To first on one bounce, knocked down. Can't field it cleanly. Nadia Taylor tried the glove and then had it bounce into foul territory. And the inning's going to continue. Just handcuffed Nadia Taylor. And an error extends the inning.
And those are the plays that you want to pick up for your pitcher right there. And Nadia definitely knows that's something that she should try to get to her knees and just try to keep it in front of her. Try to stop that rally.
So each team with an error now in the game. The one on the other side came from Georgina Corrick, starting pitcher for Team Wallace. And here is Skylar Wallace with the bases loaded, 2 outs. A 1-1 game here in the second. Well, I guess this is the spot, Natasha, where you want your team captain up.
Absolutely. And if I'm Skylar Wallace, this is exactly where I want to be. I mean, just give me a bat. Got runners in scoring position.
To left field, coming in, it drops on the bounce. Clark fires it in quickly. It's an RBI base hit for Skylar Wallace. Everybody moves up 60 feet, and it's 2-1 Team Wallace.
Skylar Wallace, I mean, such a gamer. I mean, take a look at this pitch. I mean, it's on the outer half, and all she does is just get to extension and just times it up. Doesn't do too much, stays through it, and hits it right back where it came from on the outer half.
So Wallace makes the error hurt, as Denham should have been out of the inning. But the air extends it, and it rolls on now with Kelsey Stewart-Hunter at the plate. And by the way, Skylar Wallace off to a 2-for-2 start with the bat today. Well, 20 points for her in that regard. Towards center field. Diving catch! It came out of the glove of McClinney. 2 runs are in. It looked like Haley had it for a moment on that headlong dive, and then it trickled out of the mitt. And 2 more runs come in.
Yikes. I mean, I feel like they want to try to challenge this one if she had control, but just seems like it slid out at the last second. So I feel like they're going to try to challenge and see if she had control for long enough. And McClinney, you know, just never wants to give any doubt on that. She's such a gamer out there in center field, and those are the plays she lives for.
Well, we already had a video review earlier where the call on the field was upheld on a play at the plate that ironically involved Haley McClinney as the runner coming in at the plate. Now this involves McClinney as the defender. Now historically, when I see plays like this,
Team McQuillan is challenging the no catch on the field.
yes, she had it for a brief period, but unless you make some kind of softball move, like to get up, get the ball out of the glove and try to throw it, I think this call is going to stand as a live ball.
Right, and I think it's going to stand as well too, but I can see their case. I mean, it's McClinney, it's Haley McClinney. She makes those catches every single day, and I think it's when she goes and makes that dive and when she is almost settled or stops moving, that's when the ball pops out.
It was definitely in the glove as she was sliding forward, but the call on the field was no catch. And if you're Team McQuillan, why not challenge this? Because this is a 2-run play. This is a big play. It's a 4-1 game right now as it stands.
After review, the call on the field is upheld. No catch.
It is upheld. So not surprised that it's upheld. So it's been a 4-run inning now for Team Wallace, and these last 3 runs that have scored all unearned.
Right, and that's the difference. I mean, I think now too, these hitters are starting to see these pitchers again, and they're getting a little bit more comfortable at the plate, and so putting bat on ball and making the defense work.
So base hit, 2 RBIs for Kelsey Stewart-Hunter. And Aaron Koffel's trying to extend this top of the second inning party for Team Wallace. Runner takes off. That's Kelsey Stewart-Hunter, and she gets a stolen base. That stolen base good for 10 points for Kelsey. Aaron Koffel, the 9th batter to come up in this inning, and she hits one to the alley in right center field. That's going to bounce towards the track. McClinney off balance, throws it back in, but it's a 2-run double for Aaron Koffel, and it's a 6-run inning for Team Wallace.
And hitting is just so contagious. I mean, Aaron Koffel wastes no time on unleashing on this pitch. I mean, it's middle out, keeps her hands inside. A beautiful piece of hitting, right side, 2-run RBI.
Now, Palacios, who start the inning, is going to finish the inning with a ground out, but 10 batters come to the plate. They score 6 times, Team Wallace, 5 of those unearned. A 6-run top half of the second inning for Team Wallace. They have a 6-1 lead. Reminder that the road to the Little League World Series in Williamsport continues in the regionals. So I'll have 2 games for you tomorrow afternoon on ESPN as well as ESPN Plus. The Southeast matchup is in Warner Robins, Georgia at 2 Eastern. And we have the Southwest Regional game in Waco. Games in Williamsport begin on Wednesday in August. Now Cork's got a big lead to work with. It's Wednesday, August 14th on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Gwen Savekis leads off. Quite a mountain to climb for Team McQuillan here if they want to win the inning. And the inning points, they need 7 runs to win the inning after that 6-run top half for Team Wallace, which, by the way, the 6 runs in an inning ties for the most runs in an inning in this championship season. Game 6 of last weekend in the 4th inning, Team Denham, ironically, had a 6-run inning. This time, Alyssa Denham's on the other side of that equation.
Yeah, and those runs don't come easy facing these pitchers in this league, and so surprising that 6 runs is the record right there.
Yeah, for the most part, it has been a pitching-dominated start to the championship season here at AU.
And that's what I would think would be happening in these first couple weeks. These hitters are just starting to get comfortable at the plate, starting to see these pitchers. And what I would expect is once we get into the later weeks, we'll see more offensive games.
The 3-2 pitch misses outside, and when Savekis is on with a leadoff walk, 10 points for Gwen. Well, season 5 is here, and the AU Pro Shop has you covered with the latest softball gear. You can check out our online store at shop.auprosports.com. It's the destination for player merchandise, as well as exclusive styles that you will not find anywhere else. Nadia Taylor over Texas Longhorn. Belts one foul. Nadia Taylor played at Texas 2009 to 2012, and actually, in addition to softball there, spent a little time on the women's basketball team. In addition to that, played in 14 games with 1 start in the 2013-14 season with Texas, and had a career high 8 points at Kansas at Allen Fieldhouse back in January of 2013. And there she takes strike 3.
Georgina Korek just doing such a great job of this setup. I mean, the first couple pitches she was throwing Nadia Taylor all in, throwing her off speed, throwing her fastball in the inner half, and then just freezes her on that outer half and sets her up really well.
So with the scoring system, the pitcher, every out they record is +4 points for them. Every earned run is -10. The run that Korek allowed in the first was unearned, so that did not charge her with a -10 points. So right now she's at a +20 since she's recorded 5 outs. And it looked like she went around. Mackenzie Clark did so. And that is back-to-back strikeouts for Korek after her leadoff walk to Savekis. 3 strikeouts for Korek. Haley McClinney fouling the first pitch off. The big moments of this game have found Haley McClinney, and we're only in the bottom of the second inning.
I know, and I can live for a Haley McClinney at bat or a diving catch in center field, either one, but I just love her approach. I mean, you see that first pitch you swing in. Obviously, facing someone like Georgina Korek, you've got to sit speeds. So she saw something hard. If I'm her, I'm trying to swing at anything hard off speed, trying to lay off earlier in the count.
As she finds herself behind in the count, McClinney does. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Haley reached on the fielding error by Korek back in the first inning and scored that unearned run for Team McQuillan. Closing in on the 40 pitch mark here for Georgina Korek. Missed inside. Another full count. Second walk of the inning. 10 points for McClinney for that walk. Team McQuillan has a couple of 2-out base runners.
Just a quality at bat from McClinney. I mean, just the little things. I mean, you can see that at bat, like I said, she was sitting something hard. Georgina Korek throws a changeup, she takes it, and you can see that she never loses her at bat. She's still in it and just does a great job of having such a great eye, seeing a lot of pitches, inducing that walk.
Facing Aubrey Leach. Picked up an infield hit. A little squibber out in front of the plate back in the first inning. Aubrey Leach, a veteran. She's played in every championship season. Look at the leaderboard. Top 5. Kilfoyle is going to, from what we see, Lexi Kilfoyle is going to pitch today for her team again. She started and won again yesterday, and she's been one of the big stories, if not the story, as a rookie.
Yeah, she's just been coming in, dominating, lights out.
And Leach takes strike 3, so 2 walks, 3 strikeouts the inning for Korek, and we're through 2, and Team Wallace takes the inning points. Back here in the Village of Rosemont, Parkway Bank Sports Complex, our first of 2 games. Game 1 here on ESPN2, Game 2 over on ESPNU later. Well, last night, Andrea Filler, who's going to lead off this inning, made the defensive play of the game off Valerie Cagle in foul ground. Reaching across, nice.
Yeah, this catch was sweet. I mean, just being able to find where she was on the field. She went a long way, all the way into that foul territory, making a sweet catch.
Filler walked and scored as part of that 6-run second. She will lead off here for Team Wallace. Well, the silver lining for the starting pitcher for Team McQuillan, that being Alyssa Denham, the 6 runs that she allowed in the second, only 1 was earned. Had those all been earned runs, she'd have been looking at minus 60 points, instead just minus 10. Pulled foul by Filler. So each team has won an inning. Team McQuillan with a run took the team 10 team points in the first and a 6-run second. For Team Wallace, they took the team points in inning 2. So here we are in inning number 3. And the offense for Team Wallace has awoken. At least it did last inning, with some help from the air, granted. That's popped up for Jesse Warren, and the third baseman puts away out number 1.
And it kind of goes to what I was talking about. I mean, the first 8 innings, not being able to push any runs across, but you're starting to get more comfortable and starting to break open the defense with their bats and putting the ball a little bit more harder in play and getting more breaks going their way. That Haley McClinney, that was a huge break that went their way.
Jadlyn Alchin 0 for 1 with a ground out to the right side, and this time it just hits it through the right side between Nadia Taylor and Kelsey Harshman for a base hit. 10 points for Alchin. A 1-out hit. Well, our Sunday night baseball matchup, the series finale of a 4-game set in the I-55 rivalry. Cubs hosting the Cardinals at Wrigley, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific tomorrow on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Our coverage begins at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific with Baseball Tonight Sunday Night Countdown. And ESPN2 will have another StatCast edition presented by Google Cloud. Cubs had won the first 2 games. They were up 4-1 going to the 8th. And couldn't hang on today. So the Cardinals came from behind, won it. So the Cardinals will be looking for a split of the series tomorrow, and a liner off the glove of Leach into left center field off the bat of Caroline Jacobson. We'll see how they score that rocket, but nonetheless, it's 2 base runners on again with 1 out for Team Wallace.
This ball was hit so hard, and I will tell you, as a defender, the hardest ball is the one that is coming right at your face, where you have to put the glove up to protect your face, and this ball is rising, and so Aubrey Leach not able to have some eyes on that, and it was a laser. That was hit hard.
And it has scored a hit.
It happened so quick, but she got her glove up, but it looked like it got in front of her eye, so she lost the ball.
McKinney bunts it foul. I'm sure you had that play many times. When it's coming right at your eyeballs.
You want to protect. I mean, and because it was so fast, she didn't have time to get to the side of it. So in theory, anytime you have a ball, it's hit dead center right at you, you want to try to get to the side of it so you can get some eyes on it. But on that one, I mean, it was hit so hard, she just had to react and get that glove up. That's hard. It's a hard play.
So your first instinct would be to move to either your left or right, but did you have a natural instinct that took you to one direction or the other?
It depends on where the ball is.
Okay.
I mean, that's why you want to always land in athletic position when the ball crosses the plate as a defender, so that you can be ready to have your weight go to your forehand or your backhand side. But when it's hit right at you hard, you just honestly close your eyes and hope that the ball is in there when you open them.
2 on, 1 out. McKinney right off the end of the bat fouls it back. Sydney with an infield hit and a run scored an inning ago. This next pitch will be the 60th from Alyssa Denham. It's fielded by Denham. Makes the underhand toss to Taylor. The other runners will advance. That's the second out. .60 pitches, and the ratio's pretty good, strikes to balls.
Yeah, I mean, she's throwing a lot of strikes. Again, she's using her defense very well. Again, we talked about that Haley McClinney big break, the Nadia Taylor error at first. So her defense, she's putting the ball in play, letting her defense work for her, but defense just has to step up and close the door.
She faces the top of the order again. Third time up for Morgan Zirkle. Morgan is grounded out and reached on an error. She's the one that hit that kind of twisting one hopper up the first base line that Nadia Taylor couldn't handle. It went as an error. That was a big play in the inning as another 5 runs came across after that play with 2 outs, all of those unearned runs. Morgan Zirkle, now the head coach at Marshall University.
And I'm so in Morgan Zirkle's head. I'm thinking right now, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're playing you deep. You just need to get on. You've got some big bats behind you. You've got Skylar Wallace, who's 2 for 2 on the day. If I can just get myself on, obviously some people think, yeah, I've got runners in scoring position, but there's a base open, and I got speed. Take what the defense gives you.
He's off that, and it's a full count. First base is open, but Skylar Wallace is on deck, and if you're Denham, you've already faced Wallace with the bases loaded once in this game. I don't think you want to see that again. Well, guess what? It's going to be deja vu. I don't know if it's going to be all over again, but
it's setting up nicely. The same setup.
A walk for Zirkle, 10 points for her. Skylar Wallace, 2 for 2. With an RBI single to left, a line drive last time up that brought in a run. Savannah's got more.
Coming into this week, Skylar Wallace really didn't know a lot of the athletes at AU, and so when she was trying to put her team together, really a lot of her information came from week 1. And we've talked about how they were able to put together a lot of hits yesterday, but weren't able to move them across, and today we're seeing that. So as she was putting together this offense, it really depended on who was hot in those first 3 games, and we're seeing how they showed up today to be able to constantly knock each other around.
Hey, Savannah, you're so tied in with these players. Do you think the pressure of being a team captain was kind of getting to Wallace a little bit?
You know, for her, I don't think so. She's kind of someone who seems to just show up and play. She doesn't really take on a lot of pressure. I know for her, though, she was just going on gut instinct. Her facilitator, Bailey Lang, said she'd get to a part of the draft where she was like, what should I do next? And Bailey would tell her, go with your gut. And she'd go, okay, this is it. So she's someone that I don't see take on a lot of that pressure and steps out there the same way every day.
That's when you're a rookie in pro softball and in week 2. Hey, guess what? It's your team. Go to it.
Yeah.
But you got to have a great facilitator, and Bailey Lang is one of those. That's what they're there for, the facilitators, by the way, if people were wondering.
Right. And I love it. I mean, I love what Savannah said. I definitely agree with her in terms of Skylar Wallace. I feel like she's a player that just goes off of gut, goes off of instinct, does not overthink things, and I think that's why she's so successful just in general.
A play at any base. Denham is going to take it at first. This time, Denham wins the battle of the bases loaded with Wallace and keeps Team Wallace off the board in the top of the 3rd. Unearned run allowed by Corrick so far. What's been your early thoughts on her performance?
She's been lights out. I mean, just that changeup. We know that she has that changeup, but her ability to locate it in, out, and she goes back to it consistently. But she's been able to set up some hitters on that outer half, those righties with that drop on the outside, and she's just pitching with precision and doing a great job.
And you can pitch a bit more free and easy, I assume, Natasha, when your offense puts up a 6 spot and gives you a 5-run lead.
Yeah, it's that extra defense, so to speak. When you've got that run support, you can kind of rear back, do your thing, and just be you.
She will face the 3, 4, and 5 part of the order here for Team McQuillan. Kelsey Harshman leading off. Kelsey started today top 10 on the leaderboard at number 6. It's a slow roller to second. McKinney. Sydney slings it to first. 1 out. Savannah has more on Georgina Corrick.
We've seen Georgina finish in similar places on the leaderboard, usually around 29 in different seasons. Her best was 5th at AUX, and I asked her coming into this year, do you have any goals, any intentions? And she shared that she's working through some things right now as a pitcher. I asked her that before her first start last week. She feels like she's in the process of redefining herself, you know, coming in today, giving up, only having 1 run and then being able to work through it. And I'm just curious, Natasha, after seeing kind of those highlights of her today, if you were going to define what you've seen from Georgina today, anything that comes to mind?
Yeah, the things that come to mind is her location of where she's being able to spot her pitches, and you know, that changeup. I know she really utilizes that changeup just to kind of disrupt hitters' timing, but she's throwing those for strikes, and she's throwing them on both sides of the plate, and she's just really been able to pinpoint the location of those changeups.
Warren grounds out to Skylar Wallace, and that's a couple of quick outs for Georgina Corrick. Corrick, this pro softball thing's working out well for Georgina. And speaking of redefining yourself, I guess she was asked the question, what would you be doing if you weren't playing softball? So if she had to redefine herself to do something else, she said, I'd be a marine biologist. And she is a Florida native, so it makes sense. She grew up in Port Charlotte, right there on the Gulf Coast, went to USF. So if you're going to be a marine biologist, like, just be a Florida native, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly where to be. I mean, I feel like every kid in Florida would want to be a marine biologist growing up next to the ocean.
Yeah. Charlize Palacios takes up high. She was a strikeout victim first time up. Again, we have the kind of matchup of 2 sisters, hitter, catcher. There's Sachelle catching, her sister. Ground ball to third, waiting on that. It's Erin Koffel, and that's a quick inning for Corrick, who sets him down in order on 3 ground ball outs. Rollover points for the innings will go to the 4th. 6-1 Team Wallace. There is Megan Faremo, part of Team Wallace. They have a 6-1 lead as we go to the top of the 4th. And right now, let's go into the game with U.S. Air Force and Megan Faremo.
If I make one bad call, get me out of there, bro. Yes, go! Let's go! Am I allowed to high-five you? Let's freaking go! Oh my gosh! Let's go! Yes, Sky! Oh my gosh, I feel like she's gonna pull it. Yes, Skylar! Atta girl! Let's go! Go, go, go! Go! Put me on first base all the time.
You know, coaching first base can be a little traumatic, I guess.
I know. She's like a fish out of water. I'm dying up here. Can I give you a high five? Yeah. You're absolutely allowed, Meg.
You saw a live shot there at the end of her back coaching first base. And I assume she said that because you don't want to touch a live runner as a coach.
Right.
That's the reason she was asking that.
Right.
She's got to give herself more of a longer leash. She can't, if she's like, hey, if I make one mistake, get me out of there.
Yeah.
No, you got a longer leash than
She's
that.
doing a great job. I mean, she's the good luck charm over there as the first base coach. Being able to put all the run support.
Kelsey Stewart-Hunter leading off, facing new pitcher, Odyssey Alexander for Team McQuillan.
And Odyssey, she's been trying to find her way, our last year's champ, and does such a great job of pounding the zone, but I think in AUX and translating over here in Champ Series, just plating a lot of balls. So trying to find her way of trying to find those corners, establishing in and out, and relying on her best pitch, which is her rise ball.
Yeah, when you're the reigning champ, in essence, expectations are high. But as you alluded to, something's just been a little off with Odyssey here so far.
Yeah, I think it's just been able to find that strike zone and find what's going to work for her.
Kelsey Stewart-Hunter, base hit, her second of the game. She had a 2-run hit last time up. There's Odyssey Alexander telling us all about her arsenal.
Hi, I'm Odyssey Alexander, a pitcher, and my favorite pitches to throw are a rise ball and a changeup because one's really hard and one's really slow.
Yes, they are. That's a good way to describe those two pitches.
Absolutely. Just, I mean, she's right. The combination of the two of them, when she has those two working, I mean, she is essentially hard to hit. And I think she has been struggling getting that rise thrown for a strike or getting hitters to chase it and to mix in that changeup. And so she's had to rely on other things. She's been going more to her curveball, as you see there, and she gets it as a strike, but sometimes it's just been inconsistent. She's got the fast change, curve, screw, and rise, and she throws upper 60. She's got good velo, good speed, good spin on her ball, and good location, but it's more times than not just that consistency of being able to establish those corners and find those strikes.
She has certainly been one of the stars of the sport for a while now, when she really helped put James Madison softball on the map. Played 5 years there, took him to the 2021 Women's College World Series. It's popped up. Jesse Warren in foul ground. Koffel retired for the first out. And as a pro for Athletes Unlimited, it's been one of the marquee players. And again, capping it off last championship season atop the leaderboard.
Yeah, and last year, a big part of her success, when you hear her talk, was just being able to play free and just do her thing. And so I know coming into this year, you put a little bit of pressure on yourself, and she did some big things last year. But, you know, again, trying to get back to that playing free and being Odyssey Alexander.
Sachelle Palacios takes a strike. Nothing at 2. Sachelle 0 for 2 so far today. Odyssey Alexander, who was the gold team captain last week in week 1. Had a couple of losses last week. Fell to number 44 on the leaderboard after week 1. This could be a really, not only an important outing for Team McQuillan, but also for Odyssey here, just to try to get the pieces rolling back in the same direction.
Yeah, and if I'm Odyssey, I definitely just want to get that good feeling back, that good groove. Just getting back, like I said earlier, like in her words, playing free and whatever that is, but just trying to find what's going to work for her to get these hitters out.
And she's so fun to root for. As you saw right there, the smiles there, it's infectious. Sent to left center field. McClinney on the run, and this time tracks it down. You know, after what happened to Haley earlier in the game, she just had the look like there is no way this ball is going to find green on me this time.
I mean, I can watch Haley McClinney play softball all day, every day. I mean, just the distance that she had to go for this ball. I mean, she is moving, and just the heartbeat that she has on it. You never had a doubt that she is not going to make that play, and she is such a big-time player, such a gamer.
And that brought even a little wider smile from Odyssey, getting some defensive help behind her from her center fielder. Getting the chance to play on ESPN2 today. Of course, one of the hosts of Rally Cap during the softball and baseball season. After she took over for another former Alabama Crimson Tide player. McClinney, Dave DeLucci, Dari Noka, Rally Cap on ESPN. After Caleb Rowe went back to be a coach at Alabama. Swing and a miss. Filler strikes out. Hey, it's worth another look. The catch by Haley McClinney, isn't it?
I can watch it all day. McClinney, just such a gamer. Out number 2 for Taylor McQuillan's team, but top of the 4th.
Thanks to a 6-run second, Team Wallace has a 6-1 lead over Team McQuillan. Team McQuillan comes up in the bottom of the 4th. Charlize Palacios is going to coach first base in this inning. She's the DP for Team McQuillan as well from the San Diego area. Another one of those UCLA players in Arizona. I got to throw that in as well, right? Even though you don't want me to, Natasha. Sister Sachelle catching right now. For Team Wallace, we say, hey, Charlize, as the flight goes overhead. Hope you can hear us.
Yeah, this flight is like, Southwest is over here interrupting our interview.
We appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
It was interesting. You had to come from the third base dugout behind your sister who's warming up Corrick. And tell us what you just said to your sister as you were going by.
I told her that was sister on sister crime right there, what she did, striking me out with a changeup. I was like, girl, really? Yeah, she's going to hear that all day, but look at her. She's like shaking her head at me.
Charlize, how much of your at bat is your sister in your head?
When she's catching?
Or sorry, when she's catching, like your last at bat.
Oh, is she about to make a good play? Oh, she was close. She's pretty much kind of in my head because I'm like, what is this girl thinking? Then my second at bat, I was like, I already know. I'm picking up what big sister's trying to do. She's trying to bully me. So I thought I was like going to sit on that changeup, and I thought I sat enough. But Georgie's changeup's really good. It's like 10 miles per hour slower. So I was just a little bit ahead. I felt like I was seeing the ball well, though. But I was trying to pick up on what big sis was trying to bully me on.
Well, you referred to the strikeout was in the first inning, grounded out last time, but that wasn't the first time this season in your rookie year that you've hit with your sister catching.
Yeah.
So what has that dynamic been like? Is there any eye contact, any looks, any commentary? Is this
Stelly!
deep?
Get out of here. Oh, darn.
I was going to let you make the call on that, Charlize, and it fell a little short.
Yeah, it fell a little short, but really good swing by Stelly in left field. But yeah, I think it's really cool just having my sister there. I get really nervous because she's my favorite player that I've ever watched. So I do get kind of nervous because I'm like, oh, I want to do good in front of her and impress her. But I think my first pro hit was the coolest thing that I was able to do with her catching behind me. I was like, I think at first base, Tori Vidalis is there, and I was like, oh my gosh, I got my first pro hit, and I was like, and against Sachelle. So it's really cool. It's a cool dynamic just to be able to watch her do her thing and just watch her be able to catch and be able to hit against her.
I'll wait for the plane to go over real quick.
Again, this one looks like American.
Hey, American. So whenever you're in the box, is she actually talking to you? Does she say anything?
I mean, when I go up to bat, I'm like, hi, Birdie. We just like call each other our little nicknames. We call each other Blessing and all these things. Good swing, Gwen. We call each other all these little things, but when we're in the box, like if that was a good pitch and she framed it, I'll be like, nice frame or good block or whatever. But I think if I like foul tip something onto her, I'd probably like try to hug her in the middle of my bat. But no, not too much talking. I think we just try to keep it as professional as possible, even though we're goofballs.
Low liner.
Good play, Mama.
Kelsey Stewart Hunter, who is the mother of 2. Is that the reason you call her Mama there?
Yeah, and I love, like, when I first got to practice with her, I was like, can I call you Mama? I'll be your baby, too. So I was just joking around with her cute little nickname.
2 down for Nadia Taylor, visiting with Charlize Palacios.
Yeah.
Oh, first pitch swinging.
Real quick, what's your impression been of AU? You got to go.
My impression of AU, it's really cool. I love it. I mean, I like being able to play against all these people. I like to play against this little freak. Hopefully we'll be able to be on the same team. Let us have a few runs, okay? Come on.
Little sisterly love. Appreciate the time. Hopefully we'll get back with you soon. Thanks, Charlize.
As a captain, well, last year it was a first for me. That was my first time ever. I was a little nervous, but my biggest thing last year was attitude of gratitude and just, stepping on the field, playing free, and just being, me. And that's what I, kind of tried to instill in my teammates. Was like, I just want y'all to be y'all. Y'all wouldn't be here if, you weren't a pro, So you just go out there and do what you do, and I'm going to do what I have to do for you guys. And I feel like that's what kind of led us to all the wins and the inning wins and stuff like that. But attitude of gratitude for sure.
Odyssey Alexander was atop the leaderboard at the end of the last championship season. There's a look at some of the other winners through the years, going back to year 1 with Kat. Ocasio, Deja. Nice group.
That is a nice group, and just thinking that the only non-pitcher, Deja Mulipola, but also reflecting, I'm just having so many thoughts, but thinking about Odyssey last year of just how amazing she was. I mean, just seeing her, and she just looked like she was playing free. I was trying to find something else, but she keeps saying that she played free, and she exactly looked like that, of just being able to do her thing and not thinking about the elements and just really relying on her team when she was captain and doing all the things that were required.
This is her second inning of work. So with that out of Olchin, he's picked up 16 points. Odyssey has since coming into the game in the 4th inning. Caroline Jacobson has a couple of hits, 2 singles, 20 points for her in that regard. Scored a run, knocked in one in the second part of their 6-run inning. It's been the difference in the game. Jacobson, who played at Clemson after playing 4 years at Duke, went to Clemson her last year. Sends one to center field. McClinney. There's the easiest catch she's had to make so far today.
Yeah, didn't have to run such a long ways on that one.
We don't have Charlize to identify the carrier of the aircraft that just went overhead.
I mean, she was on it.
Yeah. Normally at O'Hare, if you say American, you got about an 85% chance of being right of what flight's going overhead. A foul off the bat of Sydney McKinney. 5 in a row retired by Odyssey Alexander. This is game 1 of 2. We have Team Lorenz against Team Kilfoyle on ESPNU coming up a little bit later today. By the way, Lexi Kilfoyle, who's the team captain, pitched yesterday. It has been the big story. He's going to pitch back-to-back days. She's going to start. Already took a look at the starting lineup for game 2. And she put herself in there in the circle. Guided by McKinney into left field. She has a 2-out hit. Now, would you like to have the chance to win a softball autograph by all of the AU Pro Softball athletes? Well, now you can. ausports.com/enter. That's where you register. You do so today. One of the great memorabilia pieces you can win. Well, Team Wallace not afraid to bat with 2 outs today. They're 6 for 11 as a team with 2 outs and scored all 6 runs with 2 outs back in the second.
Yeah, Sydney McKinney at the bottom of the lineup too. I just love her in that 9 spot. Just does a great job of being able to turn over the lineup. Obviously, you know, she is a leadoff hitter, so having another leadoff hitter in that 9 spot keeps Team Wallace on offense a little bit longer.
2 balls and a strike. After the base hit by McKinney has kept the 5th inning going here for Team Wallace. Right back to Odyssey on a soft liner to win the inning. Odyssey Alexander has pitched a couple of scoreless innings of relief, but her team right now down 5, midpoint of the 5th. Well, hey, lacrosse fans, you can catch Athletes Unlimited Pro Lacrosse tomorrow at 1 Eastern. Here on ESPN2 as Team North concludes week 3 against Team Kennedy. That's tomorrow 1 Eastern here on ESPN2. Had some lightning issues today with AU lacrosse. Well, Cork is allowed the 1 unearned run, and check out the pitches by inning. Had to do a lot of work pitch-wise the first couple. The last 2 innings, she's been really efficient.
Yeah, her pitch count, she's just been able to minimize the amount of pitches that she's thrown. She's working quick. She seems real confident out there, and as the game has gone on, she seems like she's getting a little bit stronger.
We're in our third consecutive rollover inning for team points. Team McQuillan scored in the first. They took the team points there. Team Wallace 6 in the second, took the 10 there. And since then, third and fourth, neither team scored. Team Wallace didn't score in the top of this fifth. So chance for Team McQuillan if they can get a run to take 30 team points. Allie Skaggs batting here. Allie Skaggs, check swing. That's appealed and denied by first base umpire Leah Dami. We had Allie Skaggs, the star in the stands yesterday. Had great conversations with her a couple of different times.
Yeah, she was a University of Arizona standout, a big offensive threat at the plate, RBI queen, and I just love her story. I mean, she came in as a predominantly offensive player and worked her way to being Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. Really worked on her D game. So thought, hey, as much as I'm putting in work on my offensive game, why not do the same defensively and be an all-around player?
She is pinch hitting here. Fifth inning for Mackenzie Clark. Skaggs, the rookie, sends it in the air to center field. Jadlyn Olchen comes in a few steps at the end to make the catch for the first out. Let's check back down below with Savannah Collins.
Well, getting to be in this purple dugout, I get a really close look of watching this battery work together. Georgina Korich and Sashel Palacios behind the plate. And coming out of that quick inning, Sashel said to Georgina, I'm loving the tempo. Your command on both sides of the plate with every pitch is on right now. And that's exactly why Sashel Palacios was Skylar Wallace's third pick in the draft. As this team is super young, as we've talked about, there is a veteran out there as she built that team up the middle with Sashel, and she has loved getting to know this young group. But she said, Sashel was talking about how, I felt like throughout AU, I've had a lot of different roles, but I know what I bring to the table. I make my pitchers comfortable, I communicate with them, and I just want an opportunity to get in there, compete, and man, she is doing that today, calling this game with Georgina Korich.
Yeah, Savannah, obviously, Sashel Palacios has been with Athletes Unlimited since the beginning of 2020 and was the number 35 pick in week 1, but raced up the board to number 9 this week for what you were mentioning as McClinney lines it out to the left fielder Morgan Circle for the second out. Yeah, obviously pitching. I mean, you got to have pitching to win in this game, but the spot that if you don't have a quality catcher to handle that staff, you're behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, and too bad that they don't give out points for making your pitcher feel comfortable, because that is huge. I mean, especially here, if you're a pitcher, I want a catcher who's going to make me feel comfortable on the mound, being able to bring out the best in me. And a veteran like Palacios is doing that, and just that communication in between innings that Savannah just shared of just, hey, I love your tempo, I love your command on both sides of the plate. Just those key reminders makes me want to throw to her.
A soft line drive to Wallace, and a very quick inning for Cork, who has set down 10 in a row.
I think I'm gonna be off too, because I feel like her outside for us comes back to the plate. Yeah. So I'm gonna just stand off and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna tip a little bit so I can just get under. Yeah. Hey, right here, swing early. Hi, cutie. Striking me out on a changeup is a sister on sister crime. Sister on sister crime.
Fun to watch the dynamic between the Palacios sisters, with Charlize, who we have mic'd up today, and her sister Sashel playing for Team Wallace. The 5-year difference in their ages, I think, really shows in their relationship here, Natasha.
Yeah.
If you're only a year or two apart, I think there's a real sibling rivalry where you can develop some animosity. But 5 years, so when Sashel Say is 15 and Charlize was 10, there's that look at big sister like, oh, you're the best person on the planet, my hero.
And that's what I think is so cute about the relationship is that Charlize, whenever she talks, and when they talk about each other, that Charlize puts her on a pedestal. And, you know, I have been to UCLA games and I have seen Sashel in the stands just on her feet from the start to the finish of the game, just cheering for her little sis. And so their relationship is so admirable.
Well, the downside of that dynamic, though, is so when Sashel was a senior in high school, her sister, Charlize, would have been 8th grade, so they never really got to play together.
Right.
Now, hopefully that opportunity is going to happen here professionally.
Yeah, I hope that we get to see it. And, I mean, just the beauty, I mean, even just to be able to be on the same dirt together and, you know, just the moments that they're being able to share and those small little moments are a big deal.
Hey, you know who's had a really good day today as we look at the family matters for the Romeros and the Palacioses. Both those dynamics fun to watch, and we've seen Sydney and Sierra for a while now in pro ball.
Yeah, I mean, the sister duo, I love it. I mean, my favorite up the middle combo is Sydney and Sierra Romero, and so just even seeing Sashel and Charlize. And what's also similar, like they're kind of similar players too. Sydney and Sierra are both middle infielders.
Kelsey Stewart-Hunter drops one into right center field. That's going to allow Skylar Wallace to go all the way to third. And here's Team Wallace. Going to have 40 team points on the line in this inning here in the 6th. And they've got something going with runners at the corners. Nobody out. And that's third hit of the game for Kelsey Stewart.
Yeah.
Hunter.
I mean, I was just going to say, okay, let's just talk about Kelsey Stewart-Hunter right now. I mean, when we were watching her at the beginning of AUX, she was 11 weeks postpartum, just had her son, her second son, but just seeing her coming to her own and still building, and now seeing her in Champ Series, I mean, she is seeing the ball so big right now. I am having so much fun watching her ABs and just her awareness for the game and just her competitive nature. Just a fun player to watch.
And she and husband Bryce, 2 sons, Trace and Hutton. You know, the fun thing for Kelsey Stewart-Hunter in AUX this year was it was in Wichita, which is where she grew up. Liner foul past third.
Yeah, she had said it'd been a really long time since she'd been able to play in front of her family. And I mean, just what a great opportunity for her to have her kids in her hometown and have all the family be around and get to see her play.
Aaron Koffel, 2-run double in the 2nd. This is Kelsey Stewart-Hunter. It's been interesting to watch her play first base. I never saw her play that position at Florida. It was on the right side, but it was second base. There she goes, and they're going to let her take second base, and there's another 10 points for Kelsey Stewart. That's her 2nd stolen base of the game. So she has 50 points. She's got 3 singles, 2 steals. That's just individual points. Odyssey Alexander been rolling along with a couple of scoreless relief innings with a leadoff walk here to Skylar Wallace. And by the way, Skylar's had a really good day too. 2 hits and a walk. And that was followed by Kelsey Stewart-Hunter's 3rd hit of the game. Team Wallace has something going again. That's bounced up there, and it's ball 4, and it loads the bases. But one other thing that really sticks out when you look at the line score on the scoreboard is not only the score, which is 6-1, Team Wallace leading, but it's the hits. Team Wallace has 11 hits, and Team McQuillan has 1.
Yes.
and that was an infield hit by Aubrey. In fact, an infield hit about 10 feet in front of the plate from Aubrey Leach in the 1st inning.
Yeah, and I was just going back and looking at my scorecard right now, but a lot of those hits, like you said, didn't even leave the infield. A lot of them were little dribblers in front of home plate. Morgan Zirkle also roped one, or sorry, that was an error, sorry. Don't listen to me. I was thinking
that was a big play.
That was a big play. I was thinking that was a hit.
That's a huge play in this game. It extended the inning and led to 5 unearned runs. 2-0 count on Sachel Palacios. Odyssey's in a jam here in the 6th. And that's into the alley in right center field and may clear the bases. Skylar Wallace is in. Kelsey Stewart Hunter, Koffel. A 3-run double. Sachel Palacios and T. Wallace poured it on, now leads 9-1.
This is a 3-0 pitch, and Sachel Palacios just giving herself a green light. If it is anywhere near, I am crushing it. And Odyssey Alexander just having a hard time finding that strike zone, but Palacio just makes her pay and wins that battle.
So a 3-run double for Palacios. And Team McQuillan is going to make a pitching change here and bring out Peyton St. George. Twelve hits now for Team Wallace, and all 9 batters in the order have reached base with either a hit or walk for Team Wallace. And have a 9-1 lead after a 3-run double by Sachel Palacios. Peyton St. George has come in, and Andrea Filler, first pitch swinging, fouls out to Jesse Warren. And Peyton St. George, third pitcher of the game now for Team McQuillan.
Yeah, and I like this change here between her and Odyssey and Peyton St. George. We can see her go to her rise as well a ton, but she'll mix speeds as well. She's got that off rise that's a little bit slower, and so hopefully we'll keep Team Wallace off balance.
Well, Denham was the starting pitcher with the first 3. Odyssey goes 2+ innings. And now St. George misses low to Alchin. A 9-1 lead for Team Wallace. Both these teams lost yesterday. Team Wallace lost to Team Kilfoyle 6-0 Friday. Team McQuillan lost to Team Lorenz 3-1 yesterday. And it was kind of the same thing for Team McQuillan. They had a 1-0 lead on a Mackenzie Clark home run. And then it was Bubba Nichols for Team Lorenz. They won 3-1 over McQuillan, and McQuillan scored again first today, but it was a first inning run. And since that first inning, it's been tough sledding for Team McQuillan. 2-2 count on Alchin, who has a single and 3 at bats. By the way, you see Carly Spade, they're running at second base for Sachel Palacios. There is Carly Spade. Also had a pinch running role last night. Well, when Team McQuillan comes up in the bottom of the inning, it's not only the fact they're down 9-1, but the inning points. We've had 3 straight rollover innings, so you're looking at 40 points. Who's covering first? Nobody right now. Safe. And coming to the plate and scoring is Spade. Well, Taylor initially had trouble getting up, and then Harshman had to take it to the base herself, and then after the play ended, suddenly she seemed like she was having some trouble.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of miscommunication right off the bat. Taylor looked like she could get that ball, but as a first baseman, if you have to leave your feet, most likely not going to be able to make that play. But just obviously knowing where Harshman was, and she was right there to be able to make that play. So Taylor wants to be in a good position to be able to get back up and get back to first. But nice try from Harshman to try to get the speedy Alchin.
So base hit, RBI for Alchin. It's scored Spade from second base on a ball that didn't leave the infield. That's a 10-1 game. Still only one out here in the inning. Ground ball to third, spinning around. Warren out at second. You can watch Jesse Warren play defense all day. Well, the road to the Little League World Series in Williamsport continues in the regionals. We'll have 2 games for you tomorrow afternoon on ESPN and ESPN Plus. The Southeast matchup is in Warner Robins, Georgia at 2 Eastern. And then we'll have the Southwest Regional game in Waco. The games in Williamsport start up Wednesday, August 14th on ESPN and on ESPN Plus. Eighth batter to come up in the inning for Team Wallace, Sydney McKinney, who has 2 of their 13 hits and now has 3 of their 14 hits. Third single today for Sydney McKinney. I'll tell you what, Team Wallace is putting up some points with the base hits in this one.
Yeah, I mean, just 1 through 9, they are all doing some damage at the plate and putting the ball in play consistently and making this Team Orange work.
So 2 on, 2 outs, top of the order, Morgan Zirkle. Morgan now at her alma mater, Marshall, as their head coach, hired not long ago, June 26th, 2023. That ball's hit towards center field, a base hit. McClinney fires to the plate, and in with a slide comes Jacobson, and another run for Team Wallace. An RBI base hit from Morgan Zirkle. It's a double-digit lead for Team McQuillan, or I should say for Team Wallace.
And if you're Team Wallace, you want to keep this rolling, rack up those points, and get some momentum going for themselves as they go into Sunday.
Well, the captain, Skylar Wallace, on base 3 times. 2 singles, a walk, an RBI, 2 runs scored. Slow tap back to the circle. Peyton St. George throws her out. 10 batters come to the plate in an inning for the 2nd time today for Team Wallace, and they lead it 11-1. An 11-1 lead here. We have a 2nd game coming up. Athletes Unlimited continues tonight. ESPNU 7:30 Eastern. Team Lorenz facing Team Kilfoyles. That's right around the corner. And here in game 1 of the day, Team Wallace up on Team McQuillan 11-1. It's been the big inning for Team Wallace. A 6-run second and just put up a 5 spot in the top of this 6th, looking to take 40 inning points after 3 rollover innings. As Team McQuillan bats in the bottom half. Natasha Watley kind of lost in this lopsided 11-1 lead for Team Wallace is how well Georgina Korick has been throwing today.
Yeah, I mean, she's been able to stump this Team McQuillan offense, and she's just, like we talked about earlier, her tempo, her command of her pitches, and what has stood out to me is just her mixing her speeds, her changeup, her being able to pinpoint it on both sides of the plate. And to be able to follow that with her hard stuff, and just honestly, the orange team hasn't been able to be comfortable in the box all day.
Well, twice she's had to sit on the bench for a while when her team batted around twice. That happened in the second. And when she started the bottom of the second, she walked the leadoff hitter. She fell behind Harshman here 3-0. Now gets it to 3-2 after sitting a while after her team batted around just in this last inning.
And even just looking at her balls to strike ratio, 51 strikes. I mean, she's throwing a lot of strikes.
And she comes back from 3-0 and is able to get the out of Kelsey Harshman for the first out of the bottom of the sixth. Take a look at her line so far today. You saw the pitches, strikes to balls. It's basically 2-to-1 strikes.
Yeah, and that's the thing. She only has 4 Ks. You would think just by watching her that, you know, she would have a ton more, but she's been able to utilize her defense as well. And just making some quick outs. She's had a couple of innings. We talked about it earlier that she had a low pitch count, so just working really quick.
One out with Jessie Warren up for Team McQuillan. 1-2. Jessie today has a 10 points from a stolen base back in the first inning after she reached on a fielder's choice.
I mean, even just that take right there from Jessie Warren just lets me know, just timing wise, it's just been so tough for these hitters to get their foot down, be solid, be ready for a pitch.
And after that off-speed pitch, a little behind the harder stuff at 66 miles an hour.
Right, and so that's exactly what Cork tries to do, is get you to slow down your internal rhythm, your internal timing, and then everything else seems sped up when she goes to her hard stuff.
Ooh, fools her there. Off speed again. Let's pick up her 5th strikeout.
Just dirty. I mean, just look at this location, and just because of where she lets it release out of her hand, this is something that you just can't take as a hitter. And Warren just trying to put a bat on it to foul it off, but the speed just way too slow.
One more out away from giving her team 40 inning points after 3 rollover innings. Charlize Palacios. We have the old sister dynamic here again with Sister Sachel catching. One ball, 2 strikes. Well, she struck out on a changeup in the first that she all put on her sister Sachel for calling. Didn't get a change up there and belted it deep but foul down the left field side. She was ready for the hard stuff there.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and Big Sis knows that, you know, she's looking for something hard, and so that's why she's been trying to mix a lot of off speed there. So I think we can expect another off speed.
How about now this next pitch?
I think now.
Yeah. Charlize flirting with her first professional home run. Has 4 total hits as a pro last couple weekends. Waited on it, fouled it back. "12 in a row retired by Georgina Corrick." That's a high drive, deep left field, and Charlize Palacios, her first pro home run, with her sister Sachel catching, and it's 11-2. And we add another layer to the story of the Palacios sisters.
I love it, and all she said is, I want to make my Big Sis proud, and even as an opposing competitor against her sis. She's like, I just want to make her proud. But you can see her sister like, oh, gosh, come on. I knew better than that. And right out the gates, we knew that that was out of here.
That was great. Seychelles' initial reaction, you see her head turn back towards the grandstand like,
She got me.
Oh, what a moment, though. You don't get it many moments like that in an 11-2 game,
Yeah.
but that was one of them.
And even though it's 11-2,
Yeah.
like, gosh, come on, sis.
Well, let's just watch Seychelles. She's like,
That frustration.
And it ends a string of 12 in a row, retired by Georgina Corrick, who had not allowed a base runner since walking Haley McClinney with 2 outs in the second. Erica Piancastelli takes outside. Erica's popped out to the pitcher and fly to left. That's a full count. That ball's hit hard to left. Is it back to back? It is. Piancastelli, her first of the championship season. No stranger to hitting the ball out of the yard, though, in AU. Back-to-back home runs. It's 11-3.
And Piancastelli just sits on this changeup and is like, I have had enough of that changeup. I am laying into this thing. Just stays back, stays down in her legs, and just yanks this thing out of here.
Back-to-back home runs. Savekis fouls it back into the stands. Piancastelli had 9 home runs back in the initial championship season in 2020 when she finished in 4th place. Their 17th career home run, popped out to short, side retired. Couple of home runs, but the sister on sister crime found a new level with the Palacios here in the 6th.
Yes, and little sis says, hey, you know, I've had enough of that strikeout stuff. Let me take this deep. Let me get my runs.
Athletes Unlimited Pro Softball is sponsored by the U.S. Air Force. A couple big home runs, but they still lost the inning points. But that last home run by Erica Piancastelli, as I mentioned, her 17th career, which has tied her for the most all time. So historic home run for Piancastelli, tying her with Savannah Jaquish, as well as Amanda Chittister. So now a 3-way tie atop all-time home runs AU championship season. There it is.
She is amongst some great company. Chittister. Some great other home run hitters, and Piancastelli, Savannah Jaquish.
Yeah, with going to have quite a bit of opportunity here over the next few weeks to put herself at the very top. Ground ball to second base. Kelsey Stewart-Hunter has not made many outs today. 3 hits when she grounds out to start the top of the 7th. So 5 in the top of the 6th for Team Wallace, 2 for Team McQuillan after the back-to-back homers by Charlize Palacios and Piancastelli. But the rollover points, they all went to Team Wallace, 40 team points. And they have taken 50 of the possible 60 today. Aaron Koffel takes outside. Aaron, a 2-run double in that 6-run second. Off-speed pitch from Peyton St. George. Peyton St. George came on last inning. Finish out the frame. Following Odyssey Alexander and the starter Alyssa Denham for Team McQuillan today. Koffel chases the pitch that was up and strikes out, 2 away. Now this is game 1 of 2 today. Game 2's coming up. Athletes Unlimited continuing tonight on ESPNU, and it's coming up pretty quickly in about a half hour is the schedule. We may have to hustle here. 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. Team Lorenz facing Team Kilfoyle on ESPNU. Ground ball towards the hole. The throw by Leach. And will not get Sachelle Palacios. We had a 3-run double in her last at bat, so she has her second hit of the game. 30 hit points today for Sachelle. Even though her sister just got 40 on that home run.
She's like, huh, if I could have that back. I'm sure she's beating herself up on that one.
Well, 2 outs for Andrea Filler. Off-speed strike, 1-2. If this score stands, Team McQuillan's going to go into the final day of week 2 tomorrow at 0-2. There's a wave and a miss and a strikeout. Ends the inning. Last chance for Team McQuillan coming up. They're going to have the 8, 9, and 1 part of the order, trailing it by 8. (11-3) Team Wallace.
Nothing's getting past you. Come on. Come on. Commit. Commit. Come on. Let's go. Nothing's getting past you. Come on. Nothing's getting past you. Come on. Yeah, baby.
It's almost like you're in the head of Charlize Palacios there during that last at bat when she hit her first career professional home run. You hear her talking to herself.
Yeah, I love that talking to herself. I mean, if you're not pumping yourself up, who is? I mean, but just that, you know, just the commit and that changeup. Like, if I'm going to go for it, like, I'm going to swing hard. I'm not going to just kind of, you know, lazily put my bat through the zone. But I love how she talks to herself. Nothing get past me, and just being able to pump yourself up. That's how you do it.
Ball's belted to deep right center, but it's going to stay in the yard. And is cut by Caroline Jacobson for the first out. Whoever's idea was to mic up Charlize Palacios today was a genius.
Yes, and that was a good one. I mean, just the timing of that, of her first home run, I mean, that's historic. But for her to be able to be mic'd up, her sister is catching, I mean, that's a lot of good stuff right there.
Can't tell him Mark Dorsey doing a great job piecing that together. Taking us behind the scenes. Charlize Palacios, great work.
But I think so great for young kids who are at home and watching that. I mean, just being able to have that positive self-talk. I mean, you got to pump yourself up. I mean, especially when you're hitting, you have the mechanics, but you've got to be able to have that positive mind frame, and I can get this done.
Second at bat today for Allie Skaggs. She came in as a pinch hitter for Mackenzie Clark in the 5th and flied out to Alchin at center. And there falls behind 1-2. Team McQuillan down to their final 2 outs. What a day for Georgina Cork. Got the run support. And that is strike 3. Strikeout number 6, a half dozen for Cork. Team McQuillan down to their last out. We're scheduled to get going in about 26 minutes on ESPNU. We're going to have to hustle. Team Lorenz, Team Kilfoyle. Hope you'll join us flipping over to ESPNU. Bottom of the hour, 7:30.
Yeah, and I was checking out Taylor Edwards holding Kelsey Stewart, Hunter's baby. I mean, that's what I would love to do before a game, and just cradling him and comforting him. I love it. So cute.
Taylor, how do you calm yourself before a game? I hold a very young child.
I love it. The secrets to excellence.
Haley McClinney, Team McQuillan down to their last out, but a 2-0 pitch is a strike. Looking forward to game 2 tonight. Team Lorenz, Team Kilfoyle, both won yesterday. Both with some momentum. They're their first time captains. Bottom of the hour on ESPNU. 3 balls, 1 strike on Haley McClinney. Fouls it away, and it's a full count. Well, for an 11-3 game, this game has had some really interesting points to it. Obviously, the Charlize Palacios with her sister catching, hitting her first pro home run, but then right after her, Bianca Stelli joining Jaquish and Chittister, the most home runs in AU championship history.
Yeah, Bianca Stelli just etching her name in AU history. Deservingly so. I mean, just one of the greatest hitters we've seen. Home run hitters. I mean, just hits with such effortless power. Gets it done at the plate.
Corrick trying to wrap this one up. A 3-2 pitch to McClinney, and it's ball. Oh, strike 3 inside corner, and it is over. Complete game win, 7 strikeouts for Corrick. 11-3. Team Wallace wins it over Team McQuillan.
Yeah, and Team Wallace, I mean, when we talked about what the difference was going to have to be today was offense, they over-delivered with their run production, and they get the big W.
We will see you here in a short time, bottom of the hour, in about 21 minutes on ESPNU for Team Lorenz facing Team Kilfoyle. That's going to take care of things for now here on ESPN2. For Natasha Watley, our terrific crew. That includes, of course, Savannah Collins. I'm Mark Neely. So long for now.